replace it. No longer within your. It's something to deal with. No longer within your purview.
I don't have it anymore. Too late.
You still need to do the DMV because if they get in an accident,
Or it's used in a murder.
That's more exciting.
Too late now. We're live for the first time in forever.
Hey, and the stream is looking good.
Yeah.
all right, kill clowns. Anyway,
Let's all talk about things that we can get sued for, put in jail for, or other kinds of criminal activity. Let's go for it.
I heard the cat that time.
Oh, he's really wailing right now.
I hear that.
Yeah. And all she's doing is just holding him like this.
I'm sorry that clown needed to be murdered in Vegas. I'm buried in the desert.
Okay, so my kid wants to go to the Clown Motel in Nevada.
I didn't even know there was a clown motel, but now that I'm saying it out loud, I'm sure that Nye's going to want to go.
It's
So
Nevada.
pause. Yes, there is.
Nevada's.
Yes, I have been there. And
in
it's
Tonopah, Nevada.
Oh, there it is.
Well, don't open Opera or you'll crash everything.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. All right.
Let's do it. Let's see. First, let me move you guys here. Let me pop out the chat so I can actually see people chat at you.
Yeah.
Not shield mode. Not chat highlights. Where is it?
We're back, and I've managed to get things working without a hitch this time. It feels like an omen. Although this morning was an absolute buster cluck out of nowhere.
What do you mean?
Well, you see these?
Yeah.
These are new, right? And I think to myself,
they're hard to see, but they look nice.
that's why I wanted them, is because they're, they're discreet, and I can wear them. They're comfortable. But I was like, that's just a headset. No problem. I'll be able to, charge these things up a little bit, or I can, plug them in and charge them and wear them for work. No problem. I get there are GG headsets, so they come with this, software. What I didn't know is that if you turn the Bluetooth on, all of your audio comes in like a slurry of sewage. So you can't hear anything worth a damn, and it's all screwed up. And I'm like, sure, fine, that's okay. We'll switch from that audio to something else. I can't, because the software I downloaded literally hijacks every audio feature and function of Windows. Just takes over. And so, unless you're screwing with that, Windows is like, I obey you, and you can't do anything. So I'm slammed with this new UI that I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm like, I've got all these different sources, and now from going from where I had originally just select this device to listen to shit, now I have 80 of those. Because it basically says, oh yeah, we can slide each individual audio device input and output into different categories, and then you can swap and switch and do whatever. But I'm late for work. I need to get in there. I don't have time to sit there and be like, luxury. Let's move this one over here, this one over there. So I'm in a panic trying to figure out why my audio isn't working. Then I get a call, and I'm like, hello? Hello? They can't hear me. It was an internal call, so I was sort of whatever. So I hung up. I'm like, I can't do this right now. Put myself in some other kind of alternative call status, and I'm trying to tinker with it till the point where my hair explodes. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. I'm like, all right, back to the old system. I can't keep doing this. So I was just, this morning was absolutely cursed.
You got it on all your system this morning, yeah.
Yeah, no, just I completely hexed myself all on accident. It was fantastic.
I can definitely hear your cat when you're talking.
Yeah. Well, because I have.
You're telling the story.
Yeah, well, because he's my spirit animal right now. He's just remembering my audio issues this morning and PTSD.
So, shall we get started?
Yeah,
so
I mean, let's let it roll.
We had
Let me assemble the
finished
music.
up in the asylum thing, right? Headed back, contacted our respective people, and now we were meeting up the next morning.
So yeah, I'll read
Everything's
out
good.
our recap from last week.
Oh yeah, you could do that.
I mean, you remembered most of it, so that's good.
That's yeah.
After fighting that amalgamation creature, the creature feature, Gideon transformed into his Forge Fang form. And while that was painful, he actually was able to retain control, and both Gordonson and Kay managed to keep their cool and not attack Gideon. So that was pretty useful or helpful. We searched the rest of the building that we were in.
We accepted him.
What?
We accepted him during his transition.
That's true. We're
Why?
We're allies. Anyway,
We made a bigger deal out of it than he did.
That's true. So we were at a old abandoned insane asylum. For the folks who might be watching and don't know the full context, we were looking for information on our current antagonist, Douglas.
We were looking for Deus Ex.
Yeah. So we were searching the rest of this insane asylum that he was at. We on the 5th floor of that building, we discovered where Douglas was likely living several years ago, and we made a connection between Douglas's northern ward that he was in and the current faction that we're trying to pursue, which is the Wing Wards. Let me start watching the stream so I can listen in. Okay. We realized that there is a kind of a pissing contest going on between two different corporations. One is Hyde Dynamite and the other one is Hellcrest. Hyde Dynamite is likely the ones who helped Douglas escape from the insane asylum, since that psych ward was protected and built in such a way that only someone on the outside could help someone escape. We decided at the end of our session last week that our next step would be to get something that Gordonson had when he came back from his Hellscape trip, which is part of his past. It's a trip or a Hellbot named Judo. We left off meeting on Friday afternoon at the Mystery Mind to plan our next steps.
And we had just recently arrived.
And Gideon got a little maintenance dose of the drug that keeps him from losing control.
That's true. I'll write that in here. Maintenance drug that keeps him from transforming. You can transform with your own will, right? That just prevents you from transforming without your will, right?
Well, what happens is he's forced into his transformation whenever he doesn't have enough of the Zeta 16.
Yeah. So I can transform when I want. It just if I don't have it to regulate, then I can be like drawn into it.
Wolfie.
Stress.
Sounds good. So I think that's where we're at. We're drinking coffee Friday afternoon.
It's Friday. I wish it was Friday afternoon right now.
Shit.
I woke up this morning thinking it was Friday, and that was a rough time.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Ooh, okay.
And I just spilled coffee, so there we go.
There we go. Okay.
This is my cold brew from that nice cold brew maker you got me.
Okay, there we go.
So this is session 10 now.
Yep, this is our milestone session.
So we will, in theory, get major milestones after this.
Yep, that is the plan.
Is it worth introing our characters since we haven't been on stream in a while?
I think we definitely. I mean, we've got our sit rep for what's happening right now, but I mean, as a general high level, yeah, we should probably acknowledge what's been going on. So this campaign's been active for now up to 10 weeks technically, with a few extra weeks in between because there was just scheduling problems. But what we've been investigating is a heist that went either very wrong or very right in the Daedalus Belt, which is this section of the mass, omnitopia that is the city of Night City. But they're trying to figure out what's going on, and we have Gideon, who's played by Scott, and he is operating under the thumb of a specific security firm who is investigating what's happening. And he is what's called a Forge Fang, which means that he can turn into his werewolf form, but it's ugly, and it's partially cybernetic, and it's partially alchemical. And he's behooved to take this stuff called Stata 16, which allows him to stay normal and transition back and forth whenever he needs to. But he's been hunting down whoever it was that stole something of rather high level importance, and now we have corporations, more than one, all looking into what has gone on because something went very wrong that day. We have Gordonson, played by Bill, who is a jaded cop on suspension, who is investigating this case regardless of the fact that he's on suspension, and making certain people and certain individuals very uncomfortable because he's pursuing these things despite the fact that he has no legal recourse to do so. And finally, we have Kay, who is a cybernetic organism and happens to be investigating because this is the kind of job he likes to run, and money's good. But
Yep, I do gigs.
yes.
The gig I'm at.
Yep, these wing wards have been found out to be absolutely crazy, highly dangerous, and we don't know exactly what they're doing there, except for there's a good chance a corporate backer is involved, and we're starting to make the assumption that it is Hyde Dynamat that is behind everything. And we are assuming that because of the monstrosity we encountered when hunting down the history of Douglas Winston, who is the wing ward leader. So I think that should pretty much sum it up, because we've managed to accomplish everything that we need up to this point. We now know what we're dealing with. Now it's strategizing. We're going to need a lot more than just ourselves. Let's go get ourselves a mech. And that's where Gordonson comes in.
A judo bot.
Yep.
So yeah, we're having coffee. Gideon's just gonna kind of turn to Gordonson and be like, "Okay, so explain this whole thing. You've got a mech suit, a mecha, whatever, like one of these." And he points at the
Discount Gundam? What?
server. That like the server droid or whatever that's helping them.
Yeah, the
It's
rig. Yeah.
like a big one. Yeah, rig. Like a big one of those that you can climb inside.
So Gordonson just drinks the coffee. Imagine you were in a hellscape.
I'm sorry, I just got a male Sophia. Picture this.
And imagine you found a mech. Are you with me still?
So far, we're
He
good.
sips his coffee. Imagine you bond with that mech.
Bond? Did you have sex with the machine?
I was thinking that. I was just thinking
You have
physically
you see the cup of
adhere?
coffee in his hand, and you just
Hey, no judgment. I mean, look at my arm. I know what a good stranger is.
the control seat has a input device.
No. No, Ken. No.
I was like, I'm not even gonna dignify that with a comment. Let's say, regardless, he's still holding the cup of coffee. Regardless of my standpoints and feelings on the matter, Judo is a significant player that can assist us with rather heavy lifting opportunities.
So how do we get it? You said it's an impound? Do you have a ticket and you need to pay a fine, or is it evidence, or what?
I came back from hell. And when I came back from hell, they took judo from me. And I'm not okay with that. So, there are people I can ask to release judo.
Bill, didn't you like? as
He's
that
already
character,
called.
but-
He's already called the guy
Yeah.
to get help. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right,
so yeah,
Michael.
the Michael.
Yep. Michael's on it, and he's going to call Gordonson back whenever he had some means, measure, or way of getting it out there. Holy crap, dude! The dice are happy to be back.
Okay. If I can get it back based off who I've contacted, fantastic. If not, then I will take back judo.
I have a new comically large D20.
Oh, Lord Christ, really? Fuck's sake, dude.
It looks awesome. Is it soft or is it hard?
It's soft. It's
It's
like
These conversations we have.
It's always hard, Ken.
Well,
It's,
he switched it. It's firm.
yeah. I make when my kids are
Curvy.
like, I want to roll the
It's
D20. I'm like,
curvy.
okay, make a dex check.
Do you throw it at them when you say that?
Yeah.
Dex check. Psh.
Dodge this.
Yeah.
Dex save.
You can dodge a D20. You can dodge a dodgeball.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh my God.
Okay, so is he gonna let you into it, or is he just gonna like leave the door unlocked and we can take it?
He hasn't gone back to me. So if he doesn't get back to me, I'm going to take back judo.
So the rig that has been serving you coffee is finally returned because it had left. It said calculation error and walked back into the small hole-in-the-wall restaurant. Has returned with a tray, having asked no one what they would like to drink, just starts setting beverages out on the table. And, not to really, it's like not to anybody's shock. I think you've all been here at least once, but the cups themselves are, again, not the same as the ones that you had last time, looking like they were composed or put back together or welded into new fun shapes from other things, but, like a pipe and some other metalwork. It just smells really good, though.
Gordonson finds it to be the perfect cup of coffee. Every time.
Yep. The coffee's great. The rig
good.
serving it seems to be off its rocker, but it can serve a hell of a cup of coffee.
So
That's
he
a
drinks
weird
his
one.
coffee. His eyes gonna flitter for a second, like. Anyway,
But he's just serving it, right? He's not like a walking, talking espresso machine or something. He's not like sticking out his finger and like
No. He's just a little wobbly, because as a companion rig, he was more humanized. So he doesn't
Yeah.
have as many exposed parts. Not a lot of his hydraulics are concealed. He's worn, though, so you can see where the patching of weathering has occurred across the faceplate and so on. And it's kind of digitalized, but it's a little weird. It doesn't portray exactly what it's got going on quite right. But functional, nonetheless. But the coffee that you guys all get happens to be right within balance.
Okay.
So,
I'm glad we found this place.
Yeah.
So Gordonson's like, on the back and going like,
best character in Star Wars.
it's like, yes, I agree. He just basically puts on his cup. It's like, fine. Goes. Dials Michael up.
Okay, so you're dialing up Michael. Let's see, you called maybe an hour or two before, I
Yeah.
believe. Yeah. So I want to see exactly what he's got going on here. How did he? He's going to have to do it fairly soon. The call goes and rings several times before it cuts off, but it goes to his voicemail.
And he dials again.
Same thing, goes back to voicemail.
So, where were you planning on meeting Michael if he was able to release judo?
yeah, we can
So-
just head there.
Voicemail. He goes, Michael. Call me back now.
Now. Yeah, alright. So you leave that. The line terminates.
And it's like back at the coffee shop. Like,
What? How did you find such a specific one? That's kind of amazing.
This is all I do all day.
so
You just
you're-
search up memes and GIFs.
So, Gordonson's like, I'll get judo when I get judo.
What?
But we are not going to be able to do what we need to do without firepower.
I mean, I agree with that. That's why we're gonna go get him. Is this like a? I think Gideon asked you, but like knowing what the capabilities of this judo is it like our friend over here? Is it a mechanized?
You still have that picture that you had, Bill, of what it looked like?
Oh, give me a second.
Because it's actually not like a full size. It's not like Mech Warrior big, but it's probably twice the size of a normal person. So you're looking at somewhere between 10 and 12 feet whenever he's like fully strapped in.
Mecha Go-Go Bunny Ranger?
So Gordonson is
Oh my
piloting.
God, like no, Scott got it. I can't find the image. I'm sorry.
What did Scott get? I didn't hear what he said.
I said Mecha Go-Go Bunny Ranger.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm gonna do a really risky
it's
search here.
essentially 15 feet tall,
Yeah.
and it literally looks like a bunny.
It's a center loading cockpit, but there's a lot of exposure in the front, so you can see the pilot fairly easily. And it has a large overhead, but the designs and decals on the side it's all pink, by the way, with white trim, and it's got a bunny on the side. But think of the bunny from the Destiny 2, where it's that straight. It just looks goofy, right? But it's the same kind of decal where it's just the bunny's face and it's on the sides. Yeah, it's kind of like that, where it's got like the top heavy look.
Oh, I
and
didn't mean to click on
it's
that.
a little stream
No,
like
not that one.
what?
No, sorry.
No,
Diva.
that's not it.
Hey, that's
Yes.
Diva.
Ken, that's not it.
I meant this. It's a
No.
misclick.
Yeah, it's
Ken,
I'm
Okay,
pretty
let's
sure that
move on.
Overwatch only exists for.
Let's do one of those.
that.
Oh, I didn't get off the screen. Oh no. One more.
keep trying. Oh, there it
I can
is.
see your screen.
Okay.
Anyway, but it's like one of the top heavy
we
ones with
tried
thrusters and
that.
back and all of that, and it's bipedal, so it has the the arms, the legs, that kind of ambulatory movement. But yeah,
So
All right,
Actually,
let's get judo.
yeah, I believe that's actually the one that you were actually going for, wasn't it, Bill? The one that was just posted.
actually,
I think we were
That's
just
Describe pink.
I think we were just hijacking that one.
no, we were hijacking that one completely.
Yeah.
I
So
mean, that would come from a hellscape where Rule 34 rules everywhere.
Nope, that's it. Scott has it. The
Yeah,
second one.
that's Toki from Overwatch.
Overwatch. Yeah.
No, it's judo from the hellscape.
Judo.
Anyway, judo from the hellscape. So he tries to get Michael, and Michael just ignores his call like usual.
Ignores it. No, he picks up most of the time.
He has.
So he calls again. Yeah, let's do a roll.
Oh wow,
What
that's
roll?
cool.
What roll do I need to get to Michael?
Wow. That's cool. Pimp. Oh, there's another one.
So what roll do I need to get to connect to Michael?
None. If he doesn't pick up, he doesn't pick up. There's no roll you can make.
Okay, fine. Do that one.
Unless you're trying to hack his phone, which you are woefully underprepared for.
Could we just go find him?
Yeah, let's just go to where
I have nothing to do.
Judo's
except
gonna be.
get
We know where
further
Judo's
on this
staying.
case.
So,
So would that be basic security or
You're trying to hack his phone.
yeah? Why not?
Star 69. What? I'm in.
Mm.
So he has basic security, basic tech, e-security, and robotics.
So you'd have to have something in, like, programming, because you're going to be utilizing something to hack his phone.
Which I don't.
He's
So-
gonna be looking at Gordonson and is like, "What the hell are you doing, dude?" Because he's like
Yeah.
getting open his.
Suddenly ADHD distracted into his smart brace, yeah.
It's like, fuck it, I can't deal with this.
Damn
We need to
technology!
It's like compound yard. Fucking take it.
Protect my phone. What is this?
Wow, that's a lot of that cat.
Good God, no. Spare me. Okay, well, he starts tinkering, then gets frustrated. Now you guys are going to try and go where? You're going to head to the impound lot? Is that what you're up to?
That's
Yeah, I figure we
that's
can
fine.
do things the easy way or the hard way. Like,
Well, if Michael comes through, it'll be very easy. If he doesn't,
yeah,
then we're
exactly.
there.
But if he
To do
comes
stuff.
through, then it's going to be, okay, Gordonson, I unlocked it for you. Come meet me at the impound lot. Right? We might as well just start
Okay.
going there.
Well, the impound lot is not going to be near the precinct that he's working at. It's going to be another part of the Daedalus Belt, probably about 35, maybe 20. Yeah, about 35 minutes from where you are now. So if you take a grounder, it'll get there relatively quickly.
Yeah, all the more reason to head in that direction.
All right. So I believe it was actually mid-morning.
No, it's in the afternoon.
I was gonna
Afternoon?
say it was
Right.
in the
No, you guys were up all night at the
Yeah,
insane
like
asylum.
7.
That's right.
It's our
So-
morning now.
Okay, but what is the plan? We get your judo out, and then what?
Then you have something that can hit hard.
But hit
What are we shooting at? Like,
like hit where? Like having a big bat and swinging it around in an empty park isn't very helpful.
Sounds fun though.
I'm sorry. You don't want to have a big gun.
Well, you'll be bigger than me
conversation.
when you get into it, so not really.
Oh my god. You are not necessarily a negotiable entity when you are all free,
I mean, he was perfectly reasonable when he changed.
which is more acceptable with a mechanical entity.
Okay.
In
Have
today's
you all been
society,
able to determine at all where the wing wards are holed up? Because we hit their, the bar where they hang out. We hit those other places, but
I thought we knew like a warehouse where they're likely located, but it was,
no,
like,
that's one of
super-
the 3 locations that they could be a part of, but not their
But it was like
headquarters.
super guarded. Like we were like not. I figured that was why we needed the bot.
yeah,
we have
Because
we
we need to
have
be able
three
to storm that
we have
place.
3 locations, but unless we hit them with you being who you are, like he points like Scott, and
okay.
well,
Well,
frankly, you're
let's get your
squishy.
ride and head to the warehouse.
Oh, fantastic! I'm so glad we can come to a common understanding.
I'm very goal oriented.
Oh my god! You just hear
I'm here for the cool technology. This is I'm having a little time of my life.
Gordon's in his motion like, God damn it! I mean, really? and just
But
like
if you put your arm on the mech and it recognized you as the new owner,
I'll take it. I'll interface.
this damn thing accepted me as the owner and torments me beyond human understanding.
Well, then we should definitely go get it.
So I only go to this under the most extreme circumstances.
Yeah, we should go get it.
Yep, that's where we're going.
I hate you all. I need you to know that.
All right, so
Drive her away.
yeah, you guys flag a grounder and
How
haul
much was
over
that?
to the.
How much was it?
It'll. I mean, you guys are all going to be gathering into the same one, so it was roughly like 27 credits down. No big deal.
You said it'd take what, 30?
35 minutes or so. But when you get to the impound lot, where you guys are dropped off, it's about a quarter block from where the actual impound lot is, which is this huge superstructure. It's not just flat open space like you would see where
Oh, I
it's
thought it was
open
going to be
sky.
like a junkyard.
No.
Some
Nope, it's gonna-
robotic dogs patrolling outside.
Nope, there is a service entrance, there is a customer or civilian entrance, and there are certain guards at certain placements. Where it gets interesting is that it looks like a parking garage to some degree that's been converted. It doesn't have a lot, like all of the open space on the sides is, been sealed up, but because of the fact that there were just so much that the impound lot now goes up instead of expanding out wide. But there are bay doors that open to the bottom floor. There are 2 police rigs that are watching over that and keeping steady. They are armed with smaller, what look to be auto rifles, and they just kind of keep perfectly steady and poised as things are moving about. Because there's just traffic going, back and forth. The civilian entrance is nearest you as you're coming into that point. When everybody can just roll an awareness check. It's very mild at the start, but I'll have you do it now.
Awareness.
Awareness.
Keep forgetting what character I am. I was like, ooh, is it magical? That doesn't matter.
7.
22.
14.
Okay. Say 14. Okay.
14.
12
Yeah, just be
from
sure.
me.
Yeah. So, Bill, whenever you're rolling your dice, just remember to do it in the video comms chat so that we can see it.
Yeah, I figured that when I did it.
No worries.
Wait, you said the civilian entrance. Is there a cop entrance?
Nearest, yeah. Well, there's a service entrance. There's the bay door, and then there is I think it looks like the cops or any other of the police will probably go through the civilian entrance and go through the back that way, because it looks like it'll have a front desk where you interact, and that's usually where the police would be. If there is a different one, it's probably more towards the back, where it's inaccessible from like the main street. You start to hear this clanking sound for, was it Bill? You said 22?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, there's a small shiver that goes up your spine as you realize that there is a lot of noise happening from where the bay door is, because over the din of traffic and everything happening to your left as you're moving towards the building, there sounds to be a lot of activity happening from the bay door. Nothing close enough that you would say, oh, yeah, it should be, we should probably stay out of the way or anything like that, but it's loud enough that you get that feeling, and it's quiet. So something large or something rather boisterous is moving through the impound lot right now.
Cocks his head for a second. It's like, huh. Wow.
You see a silent alarm go off. These lights that were dormant for a minute suddenly kick on, and the bay doors are starting to roll closed.
Oh, they were open?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
So he looks at the entry guy. He goes, everything okay?
Well, there's no unless you're going up to the guards outside the bay door, which they will want, and they will just straight up ignore you, because their job is just keep people out if you're not meant to be there. And if you interact with them, they just like step back, citizen, go into the front desk if you have questions, and that's it. They ignore anything else.
So he mutters like, "I ain't some goddamn citizen," and he goes back to the front desk.
Well, you start heading back that direction when you start hearing the crashing and banging, because you guys didn't even get inside. You were just walking on the street, headed towards the door, and then you started hearing that and walked towards the bay doors, and it got louder, and they said, kick rocks, and you started turning around. You get 2 steps before you start realizing that the cacophony of noise sounds like heavy, heavy footsteps. Moving at a very quick pace, though. Yeah. Except for it's going dunk, 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 dunk like that. It's moving fast.
Oh, that's terrifying.
Yeah.
And, at that point, he just basically kind of like holsters up, like that side hip,
Yep.
and goes, and just kind of does that quiet whisper going, "Gideon." Post up.
The rigs on the outside of the bay doors go into a high ready, and through their loudspeakers, like, civilians step back. Like, that just broadcasts that really loud. So something's coming this way. The bay doors close, and you can see a second set of doors that were like rolling down behind it. The first one was like almost like those really thick cage links that you get almost like at the malls, but that kind of stuff, but it's much thicker steel. Those had rolled down, and now a second set of doors are starting to descend when that huge rupturous noise comes blasting through the doors, leaving a hole that's almost 20 feet long, like 20 feet tall. Your mech blowing out the side of those doors, spins right, doesn't see what it's looking for, spins left, and you suddenly hear the blast of Korean, like, the Korean pop just coming out of this thing. It is now taking small arms fire from the 2 guards out front.
At which point you just hear, like Gordonson's like posted up, and he doesn't have a filter at this point. So he bellows out for these guards to hear, and goes, "God damn it, Judo, knock it the fuck off."
Yep. So it spins, turns around to you, and from the inside, like just again bouncing out of that loudspeaker, you hear "Gordonson!" like that, like as it gets really excited,
and his head goes down because
and it charges full steam, like the good 50 miles an hour on 2 legs, just barreling for the group of us.
Oh no.
So Gordonson puts out his hand like this, his head still down because he's not okay with this.
God damn it, kid.
He puts his, Korean pop blaring in the background, like Gordonson, and he's just like,
and so
like the chagrin version of How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah,
I'm backing up at this point, looking at Gideon's like, "Oh, okay, what? Are we good? Are we good?"
Yeah, so it blasts right past the 2 of you, scoops up Gordonson, and charges into the distance with him, and he is just screaming profanities at it, trying to get it to stop.
But does it, like, put you in its...
Oh, it's gonna do that here in a minute, but it just grabbed him up almost like Princess Carrie style and is like running away with him. Like
and all you can hear is, "You goddamn miserable bleep and bleep and bleep and bleep and bleep and bleep and bleep."
Yeah,
We've been
and
through so many goddamn things.
whenever Gordonson's voice trails off completely, he's inside the actual pilot cab at that point. And then from the loudspeakers, you just like, "Let's go!" like that, and he goes blasting off with its boosters at like out of sight. takes a corner hard, and disappears. The rigs that were like firing at it have lowered their weapons, charged after it, then stopped where you are, and one of them just looks to the two of you and goes, "Are you hurt? Are you damaged?"
Nope. Nope. The hands
It's like, "Remain here. You have to file a statement," like that, and charge off.
Yeah, I'm not
And-
waiting here.
Yeah, no, the front desk, like the front desk officer has come out the front, and he's kind of like thicker, not fat, just really broad, and he's got that goatee going on, like he's just been like huge and tough all of his life because he's got the short cut hair and everything. Just looks to the right, looks to the left, the rigs are bouncing off. He's like, "What the hell's going on?"
I saw a big metal creature steal our friend.
Something just ran outside of the bay doors and blasted a hole through it. Like, he goes looking around, walking up to you guys. "What'd you see?" And he starts literally trying to get a statement while you guys are here.
I mean,
Giant mecha bunny.
Yeah. Yeah. So you guys get held over by, like, Team Tough Guy for maybe 15 minutes as he's trying to get all the information. He doesn't take terribly long because there is a bunch of people starting to appear. There's lots of photography going off because you can see camera flashes. Lots of people on their smart braces or any other thing, like recording with monocles. Like, it's getting a lot of attention. And multiple rigs have moved to cover the area where the other two left. And they are, like, sounding off, telling people to back off and try to create a perimeter. Like, this place got to be a busy, nasty mess. Who interrupts this process happens to be Michael, who looks haggard, is sweating, and is none too pleased with the situation. He comes walking up to the two of you, and this, the officer sounds like, I just got their statement. You don't need to worry. He's like, "I'm not worried. I'm trying to find out something else. Are you done with them? Jones, I need to talk to these two." And he's like, "Yeah, I'm done." Like that. "You okay?" He's like, I'm perfectly fucking fine, thanks." He's like, "You two with me. We're going this way." And you can hear, like, he doesn't actually, like, you can barely hear it over his little earpiece, but he gets into the radio. He's just like, "I'm on it. It's covered. The area is still secured. We got statements. Just, I'm trying to find out what happened up with the other two rigs, okay? Out." Like that. He just shuts it off.
So yeah, as
Oh,
soon
how
as
you
there's a
doing?
chance, I'm gonna flee.
Right. He's just looking at the two of you going, "Let me guess, you're the CIs.
Is that what he calls us?
I'm going to have to assume as such." And he's like, just points to the badge that's on his belt. And he's like, "Because if I assume anything else, then I'm going to have serious problems on my side and your side. Understand?"
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, sounds
What
good.
can we do for you?
I don't know where that thing took him, but it berated me while it was being charged up or something. And the second that it seemed to notice that he was here, is my only guess, it ran off and it broke my leg in the process. What I'm curious about is if he's told you anything about this thing that you didn't tell him, like that, indicating the Officer Jones, who's been retreated back to his front desk duty.
He hasn't really told us anything about
Ordenson
this.
he seemed pretty circumspect to tell us anything. All we know is that apparently comes from a hellscape, and that hellscape is apparently South Korea.
I think I'm
South Korea's
starting to
still
understand him,
existing,
like, less and less and less. I may need to get a hold of you as CIs for the case I'm working on. So don't leave town.
Wouldn't dream of it.
Like, leave Night City?
Or less. Because this is starting to turn into a shitstorm, and I've got to make sure that I have every possible asset that's going to put it in my favor that I can find. I have to get a car. and he goes and turns back around towards the lot.
As he does that, he hears the ring, 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 ring.
Yeah, we'll get there. So, you guys are kind of left on the street there, wondering why he's so concerned, because Gordonson never really made it clear what he was up to, or how he was going to get the vehicle in the first place. So, you're stuck in the cockpit now, as this thing is charging through city streets. It is actually jumping over, bouncing through, and maneuvering through traffic. And it's doing it well. Of course, it's on autopilot, and it has a mind of its own when it wants to do that. But it is more or less speaking partly in English, partly in Japanese half the time, so you can't understand it. And the music is just ongoing.
And he's just hands in the air, like, Judah, I am fucking okay. Everything is fine. Just fucking pull the fuck over.
Right, so it seems to hear that, and you're now 2.5 blocks of screaming away at this point. So you're a fair distance before it finally starts to take your opinion into account. When you take the alleyway over, you see a certain system monitor pop on and off, like a light switch goes boop like that, and a display, because the HUD you have is all projection digital. You happen to notice that there were several police drones that were hovering around and following. When they got up to a certain distance, there was this kind of vague pulse, and then they just dropped. Now they're just rolling around on the street somewhere as it takes this alleyway corner and starts navigating through a labyrinthian series of maze-like alleyways and pops out somewhere else. Of course, it now has a certain amount of what appears to be cabling, a little bit of laundry, some other detritus that you can't readily identify based on some of the sensors that you have inside the cockpit. And it skids to a stop and says, "Okay, safe now."
And it's like, he's talking with his hands. He can't speak. He's like,
All right, and then you get the the
Judo?
judo avatar projected on the inside of the cockpit. The younger looking, almost anime style girl just looking at you, all happy with herself.
Judo. I was okay. Everything was okay. I was trying to come to you and not have this happen.
I don't want to be stuck in the carport anymore. That's just what you get.
I respect that, but there are certain things that you can and cannot do that we could do when we were in the before place. I need you to please, for my peace and quiet,
Bashful laugh with the sweat drop and everything, going sorry,
just try for me, Judo. It's pleading with Judo.
Yeah.
Just listen to me going forward, because you have made my life so much more complex. That's it. God damn it, Scott. That's perfect.
Yeah.
So he's talking to Judo. It's like, I get it. Just
AI
can
generated
you
perfect.
let me be who determines what we do.
She's like, okay, like that, but I am not going back to Carport.
No. You and I are on that point. Now give me a moment, because I need to fix this. Can I fix this?
And she's
Judo?
like, of course, unjamming all communications, like that, and you start hearing your phone ringing.
Ringing. Answers Michael.
It actually happens to be Michael.
Called it.
Yeah, no, it's Michael. When you pick up the phone, it's sort of like, you'd better be dead.
I had nothing to do with this, Michael. Judo is very possessive.
That is
I
an understatement.
I warned you and the department about this.
No, you did not tell me that she could possibly pop off all by herself without a pilot and do whatever the hell she wants, regardless of any screaming that I might have done.
Well, maybe not to you, but you know, Captain, say his name.
Right.
I warned him, but Captain said, fuck off.
Listen, we're actually lucky that I was going to investigate such a thing and put it in as such that I was investigating on certain terms, that there was possible issues with the device, given recommendations, but I don't have an excuse for why I was standing in there and then had the thing go completely rogue and blow out the bay door.
In its defense, it's very sorry.
Well, I mean, you could say it's perfect coincidence, or you could say it's your instinct as a spectacular detective.
They're gonna tear my ass off and then feed it back to me at roasted.
Yes, they are. But know that Judo and I appreciate you.
Yeah, well, like I said, you should probably be dead, because at this point, you're looking at private eye work or anything else other than police work, especially since you've been nabbed and seen by witnesses to have been absconded.
At least he looked kidnapped.
Well, I mean, I've been kidnapped by a rogue II. No. I'm sorry, Judah. You took me in. That's fine. They need to know this. But I've been kidnapped by a rogue AI. That's all you need to say.
It's not really going to matter, since the vehicle was originally in your possession, impounded by our own captain, and has now gone off the hilt, and now rogue AI, as you say. Doesn't help the situation any.
For fuck's sake, Michael. Just confuse the bullshit, because there are bigger problems that you and I know.
Yeah, what exactly are said bigger problems, especially since now I'm implicated and probably going to lose my job, so you might as well just come clean about what on earth I'm actually doing with this thing now. Whenever he gets angry, he like tilts into the Scottish. It's like
Well, you know, it's how I do with my characters. It goes between. So it's like, Michael, we're an American right now. It's like, Michael.
Pick
It's
and
all
choose.
Diva. She's doing the voice changing. It's or Judah.
goes, Michael, this goes to a place that can't be explained. And I mean dark places. Do you know my last report with regards to where I was?
Your last report?
Yeah. The one where they all thought I was insane?
Yeah, no. Apparently your CIs had put down the same kind of nonsense, something about a hellscape, and then South Korea, which makes about as much sense as anything else going on right now.
Yeah. Frankly, it's the same thing.
Wow,
I
shots
don't
fired
care.
on South Korea.
I don't care whether you believe it or not, but these things exist. I
Right.
was in Hellscape. I clawed my way out with judo. And now, with all these lovely cold cases that they like to throw at me, they can't be explained. They can be explained.
Gordonson, you're not going to have to worry about that anymore. I'm pretty sure that whatever explanation you concoct is not going to be satisfactory for either of us. Either way, I've got to get back into station. I can't necessarily pursue anything else. You've got rigs on your tail, and apparently 2 drones were knocked out of the air. So, storm's hitting. Just be ready for whatever. And if you've got some kind of lead I don't know about while you've got that thing, you might want to think about taking care of that as soon as humanly possible.
Oh. Because I care, Michael. And he just sends like because he had the copy of the incident,
Yeah.
like the data disk. It's like, I need you to review this.
Yeah, well, between my ass raping and the rest of it, I'll see what I can do. Till then, I'll talk to you later.
Oh, hugs and kisses, Michael.
Really? Shut up. Like that, and just hangs up. Then, of course, you can start calling back out to them because, your comms are no longer jammed and it's been just a little around 15 minutes post-conversation. Go for it.
So he reaches out and he goes, so, judo is calm now. Where
She
are
That was
you?
awesome.
seemed a little excited to see you.
And you can still hear the K-pop in the background.
Oh, it's remorseless.
Yeah.
It's fucking psychological warfare, like type of K-pop.
Womp. You got glomped by a mecha.
Yeah. At least it didn't get crushed.
Well, that's what I was trying to think. Like with the cockpit being like a center thing, did you get like grabbed and like stuffed inside?
Yeah.
Like
Yep. He was picked up, screaming and hollering, and midway running through, got shoved into the cockpit. You're not. What the hell?
Oh my god! Oh my Jesus again!
Wow, you're just like killing it. We got like with this.
Anyway,
Sure.
so he communicates to the two of you. And it's like, well, judo is calmer now. Where are you at?
yeah, we're just like around the corner.
Fantastic. Go back to the spot. And he's referring to the spot that you guys had found that
Our
nobody
little
has.
like
Yeah,
little
hiding
clubhouse that we made.
Yeah. And Judo and Gordonson will go back to that spot.
I need water. I got a little bit in here.
Okay. So our plan was to
Oh, that wasn't good.
What mold?
wrong jug.
Nope. That was just that had my Hi Nikki. That just had my my Sunwink stuff in it from earlier this afternoon. So extra flavor.
Oh.
All right, so we were gonna go check out that warehouse because
Looks like
it's
it.
not like we can take public transportation now with this thing.
So where's this warehouse?
How fast does it move?
Oh. I'm glad you asked. Let's see.
Is this the equivalent of you having a vehicle?
More or less, yep.
Pretty much. So. Oh my god. Yeah, now Judo has the ability to move via his cruising speed is 25 meters per second. Max speed is 40 meters per second.
Are you talking about Gordonson, or are you talking about the mech? 'Cause the mech can move much faster than that.
No, Judo can move 40 meters per second. Max speed 40.
Oh yeah, 40 meters per second. That's pretty good.
That is 90 miles an hour.
Yeah. Yep. I was gonna say she should be able to move pretty dang fast. So.
That is a lot.
Now he's not gonna have to pay for cab fare. I'm going to the arcade. Like
Gordonson won't have to. Are there like little sissy bars on the side for us to grab onto?
oh my god, just
We can go
hanging.
sketching?
Not in this case.
Go
Although it'd be interesting to see if there was like a module that you throw onto it where it's basically gunner seats attached to either side.
sketching. Sidecar, one for each shoulder.
You're right.
No, that's fine. Okay, so we're back. We're back at the spot. I think we should make a plan for where this warehouse is, and I'm completely fine sending in the big armored mech first. I guess stealth is not an option anymore, but
Yeah, not
that we're
really.
particularly stealthy.
Present location with what you're talking about, like if you start doing your interactions with Judo, if I am not mistaken, it's like a neural interface, if I'm not mistaken. So like when you're thinking, doing all this other stuff, you're interacting with the vehicle. So you start seeing a map pinpointing where this warehouse is based on the address and present location. If you move with as much clandestine capacity as you can manage, you'll be there in maybe about an hour and 20 minutes. But it's a lot of like moving through, jumping through alleys, that kind of stuff, and trying to stay low and out of sight. That's why it's going to take extra long. Anybody who takes a grounder, especially from said impound lot, probably 40 minutes less than that. So they'll probably get there in 40, but an hour and 20 is what you're looking at from your own movement.
Well, we were gonna go back to our little hideout first.
Yes, there is that, which I think is further north and roughly the same distance as where you would want to be going. The difference being is that yours is more north and that one's more east.
Yeah.
So Judo kind of slides into the common area where Scott and Ken are. He goes,
Whoa, hold it. I don't think anybody traveled yet. That's the question. You guys were just talking on the phone.
oh wait, so he's traveling back to the common area.
Right, you're going to be heading back to your little HQ that was in the industrial park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
So,
what Jay
yeah.
and Gideon are gonna do. They're gonna get a grounder.
yeah, you guys are going to take you guys are fine. What I want you to do is, to the best of your ability, this is going to be kind of one of those things like, I need you to roll stealth, and we're going to apply Judo's best efforts.
Oh wow. Okay.
So
So you're trying not to get seen while you're making movements
our
there.
stealth is being human-like and being able to get around.
walking.
Oh,
I literally have no stealth ability as a Gordonson.
Excellent! This is going to be hilarious.
Making my way downtown. Here's a cat.
Downtown.
Does this look familiar, D?
Yes.
Cat?
Yep. Look at that little rosebud.
Okay, stealth is based off of
Ref and cool.
It's reflex.
ref and cool.
Yeah, but cool's not acquired to this, because if you don't have any ranks, you just get the reflex score and your D10. Not D20, D10.
So the bonus, the bonus is score.
The score. The score is the flat, like your flat base. So you're doing your reflex and a D10.
So what's your reflex, Bill?
Oh, it's 8.
So it's 1d10 plus 8.
13.
Alrighty.
point, I could boost it, but humor.
Yep. And we're gonna have a little bit of fun while we're doing this. Got it. Let's see. Where'd you put that? You said it was what, Bill?
You put it in the Night City, so it's 13.
Sorry.
13. All right. This is gonna be perfect. This is just like, I don't know if you guys are listening to what the music is on stream, but it's
great for this moment, by the way.
yeah. All right, Gordonson, she charges off, and you start kind of keeping low into the ground and using alleyways to the best of your ability. Probably 1/3 of the way through, you're bouncing through some of these streets. Some people catch sight of what you're doing. You try to clear the sight as much as possible, but obviously some people get the word out because this digital world is even faster than ours, which is saying something. And then while you're mid-movement through these alleyways, you just get like, uh-oh, police drones, like that, and it just very happily indicates drones that are like trying to follow your position. And she starts taking more circuitous routes through, trying to dodge these things out.
And here's Gordonson just basically pounding on the console, going, "God damn it, man, you fucking just do your job."
Yeah. All right. Make one more stealth, please. We got the drones who are gonna be doing the same thing.
God's sakes. Okay, we'll do this in the goddamn chat. Jesus. I love this character, by the way.
It's lining up with the gif of the girl.
Yep.
Oh my god. No.
Wow.
We're gonna put some fucking look at that.
Guys don't lie.
So that's his reroll.
Okay, so you get
There's
5
4.
total, and that means it's 13.
There you go.
So, yeah, you go juking and dodging, the drones lose sight of you completely. They rolled a 1. They had suffered some kind of weird system failure or glitch where they couldn't track you for whatever reason, and you go cutting through the rest of the Night City area without having any issues. But she goes bouncing through, and there's a moment near towards the end, just as you're getting to the industrial park, where things are a lot less secure anyway, where she takes this massive leap. Like, actually, yeah, Cannon's got both. If you want to roll awareness real quick, I want to see if you catch this.
I got a 19.
All right.
I got 12.
12. Perfect. You see her just take this huge leap, like out of the corner of your eye. I guess, or like in the industrial park area, but through one of the places where you can see through, like the windows. You just see something kind of up on the like lower rooftops, because everything here is like the lower structures. But you catch sight of something gleam against like the gray sky for just a second, and then you hear a puffing blast of what sounds like boosters. And when you take a look out that window, you can see Judo practically flying as she's hit 87 miles an hour at a full sprint, and just like that, just lunging through the air. When she lands near headquarters, skidding to a stop, which this is perfect where it sits. She skids to a stop right outside the headquarters. You just hear this blast of "Yatta!" like that. It's like, and it even echoes. And it just stands right there. The cockpit pops open, and you hear Gordon just like, "Ah!" like that, screaming from the inside. But you made it here safe. Oh my god. So yeah, Gordonson has arrived.
Can you undock from that?
Well,
I'm
the
inside.
cockpit like just opened and he's just inside, like stiff, like just.
You just see him like rigid, like you've never seen him this tense. He's just sitting outside. It's like the music never stops,
It's kind of fun though. He's like bopping to the beat.
and he just doesn't even look at you, and he points. No. No. It's like we are just going to go under the understanding that Judo did not no longer wish to be in incarceration. So, if you want your heavy hitter, Judo will do that. Now, let me deal with what's happened. You two need a plan.
What? I mean, I thought we were just gonna take your big robot and crash the warehouse. Like you're our muscle now.
Oh, and I'll do that. But I'm not going to do it without a concerted plan with what the two of you are going to do. Because I know what Judo can do.
What are Judo's combat abilities? Or do you control it? Does it have firepower? Is it punching and kicking?
I can control it. But
Supposedly.
you're asking for mass chaos.
Right. What I know that Judo's capable of making a door out of a wall, which is useful.
Yeah.
But is this one of those things where Judo is going to draw fire while the two of us sneak around, or is
yes.
Judo going to lay down fire while we
Absolutely.
go clean up?
Now, Judo doesn't have armaments per se.
Do
But
we
Judo
need to
can
give Judo a gun?
charge and can kick and can stomp.
Well, like, what was that last one?
Stomp.
Stomp.
And I would say that those
So I think
are,
drawing fire.
Yeah, it's
Good distraction.
Judo's armored, and you hear this "Yappa!" in the background. It's like
The noise coming out. That's something else.
I
Could that be weaponized? For
it's weaponized against me.
I mean, as like a way of forcing an evacuation of the warehouse.
No. I'm pretty sure it's my eternal damnation and torment.
I'm just thinking, you know, how they use like songs to drive people out of hiding if they've been holed up inside of a place. If we go to this warehouse and they batten down the hatches,
Oh,
can we just blast that sound inside to get them to come out?
no. I wish I could cause such madness. But no, that is my internal suffering.
Okay. So, and then, you know, Gideon's going to kind of point to the kind of crude mapping that they had made where they had highlighted kind of the three areas that they were going to check out. So, one was the asylum, right? Like that was
Yeah.
one of the areas they had checked out. Was the that like bar, was that one of them, or that was just a different place, and there were these
Well-
2 other separate areas?
Frankly, we discovered the data tablet that we still needed to have.
Oh wait, yeah. Do we have that
still-
still?
So
Yeah.
I sent a copy to Michael.
Can
But
Judo
Michael is dealing
do that?
No, Judo can't. Judo's very simple. So we need to find somebody outside of Michael who could translate that. Secondarily, we need to interview. Oh God, what's the name of the individual, Ken? The occult influencer who went
Oh.
into the area.
Isn't that guy dead?
No.
he's not.
Oh, the person that was down in the basement. I
No,
thought they.
he
Right.
became-
They had done all this stuff and then they just one day stopped.
yeah, the influencer became famous and then stopped. So
Who was going to expose all this?
Give me a second while you guys keep talking. I'll find it.
John Dark Magic.
Terrence
Related to
Brenner.
Jim
Yep.
Dark Magic.
So we have Terrence Brenner, who we need to interview. We have data that needs to be translated. Before we do any of these things, we need to investigate it. Judo is, and you hear this in the background, like,
Not subtle.
it's like, yeah, and like bullshit, like happy sounds. Like he's, like Judo's happy that they're reunited with Gordonson.
Yep.
It's like,
Mind you,
It's like-
the thing about that is that she doesn't call you Gordon Son, she calls you Gordon San.
Gordon-san.
Yeah,
It's like,
because she's
Gordon
using
San.
the one of those kinds of honorifics.
it's like, Gordon-san, I am so happy to be reunited with you again. And he's like, I am working. Let me work. And you just see this, like, this holographic Gordon who's going,
Right.
can't deal with it. And it's like, need to talk to him. Need this translated. I send it to Michael. Michael's a little bit upset with me at the moment. So if we have another way to look at that data, I would recommend it. So,
Well, let me take a look at it. I know a thing or two about interface.
fantastic. Let's see what kind of chaos we're dealing with. And you hear this in the background.
It's just an age. It's just epic. Like
In the
it's
background
just
you
an
hear-
HR they've got to navigate.
In the background you hear, "Nata!" And Gordon just goes,
Does Judo have a power source that we need to worry about?
I have tried to unplug whatever power source I could fucking find.
Yeah, she's
I mean, like, does Judo need to plug it in to recharge?
well, that was the
Or-
assumption based on what Michael had said, but in your experience, Gordon said she doesn't need to recharge on anything. You don't know
Just
why
a
she was so
reactor.
cooperative. Yeah. It's a reactor on the inside. But what's funny is that while you're asking that, of course, you've got Judo in the background, again, still the music running, but it's doing like little hop squats. Like it's just kind of anticipating the next move for something to do. So it's just moving
Yeah,
like this in
idle
background. Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. And you hear that in the background.
Oh my gosh, what if Judo is part of like a K-pop squad and there's like 5 others of different colors waiting in the hellscape?
Oh, man.
That would be Gordonson's nightmare. It would honestly be Gordonson's nightmare.
This is a
Yeah.
K-drama I need to watch.
Like he hates judo, but at the same time he understands how judo is necessary.
Tortured.
Okay.
All right, so yeah, your warehouse and some of let's see, what was it that you were going to work on there, Ken? Since you've
I
got
was going to see
interface
if
and
I can
so
plug
on.
into the data set that that Gordonson had picked up and like see if there's anything useful in there, right?
Yeah,
Like,
we've got like a simple
we-
terminal and stuff in here.
we got like a whole set of data at the time, and so learning a little bit more about the attack that happened and stuff like that, just gaining some more information.
All right, so we're gonna take a shallow dip, and trying to figure out. So, in this case, are you were interacting with a specific device, right? It was the tablet.
I think that's what he put the Gordonson had stored it on. And I was just gonna plug into it.
Yeah, you had a tablet or a slate that was gonna work with it. Okay. Okay. So you use your direct interface port. You like center up, plug it in, and let's go ahead and get. First part is the interface aspect, and then the second we'll see what happens. So.
Okay. The
Yeah, here we go. Some idle stuff. No.
Okay. So interface is my first role.
Yeah. Let her rip, Tater Chip. Let's see what we get.
Hey, I am trained in interface, so this is good.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, God damn it. I used the wrong command. Okay.
Space.
14.
Okay. Well, I mean, you managed to get through on the. You encountered the first set of obstacles, which happens to be so. Whenever you do like a dip of this kind, it's kind of like you're interacting because I believe the way that you have it set up is that you can are you using any kind of like. Because a dip would imply that you're using a direct interface, meaning that you're interacting with it at sort of at a mental level.
What
I
do
was
you
just
mean when you
connecting
say dip?
From
Huh?
Yeah, I was just connecting it directly from my arm.
Okay.
Like,
What do you mean when you say dip?
It's a direct interface port. It's the piece of gear that lets you go brain deep. Now we don't have the link stuff figured out yet, but I was like, oh yeah, we could call it taking a dip. We're gonna go into the link.
Ken, write them down.
oh yeah.
I was like, this is new terminology.
Yeah.
This game
So
is so organic, and we
Yeah.
just need to make sure we write.
well, I've got it written down as well. It's not gonna hurt for you guys to do it, but I wrote it down because I was working with the other side, and I was like, this is part of the link that we don't have set up just yet. But I was like, this would be perfect because if we call it a direct interface port or dip, it's like everybody was like, I'm taking a dip, or it's like I'm taking a deep one, or I'm going to be taking a dip, and they're just going to drop into it.
Yeah.
Drop into the link.
Guinea dipping is when you do it without a mask.
Yeah.
You just
No protection.
Yeah. But you could also just call it dipping. You know, it's just sort of like, hey man, or he's a dipper, you know, that kind of thing. That might have actually come up in some other show, but you know, in this case, I've got, you know, it came to my forebrain. I'm using it. Sniffing my packets. Man, some tech terminology just is terrible. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, you're kind of moving through. You can figure out that there's a couple of back doors that you can work with to break through some of the information that you need, but because it was all stored, because what you're doing is you're working with information that was pulled from one location, stored on a separate device, and it has its own elements that need to be worked with. So you're kind of working through all of that. I just want... Give me a... Do you have any kind of... You have programming, Ken?
Wait. I didn't train in programming. I trained in cybernetics.
Yeah. This is so intense. I'm not even trying to do that. There, just stick with that. Yeah, well, we'll have to kind of like double down a little bit on the interface, I suspect. Or you can actually just try rolling on your programming because you're going to be using like a shell of knowledge that's not really true programming, but it's going to be like, it operates like this. I might be able to, you know, get to what I need. Because like I said, the information got picked up and moved, so it's not just open open for review. Which means,
10.
because okay, that's good enough for now. You're just kind of like playing at it and trying to get it to come loose. With that, you're able to see most of what is needed. It isn't like high security. You were trying to see what in the tablet though specifically. What was the aim? I'm trying to like keep my head straight on that.
Yeah. I think the first thing I'm doing is just scrubbing it, because it's like as far as I know, I don't know what format the data came in, but it was from a security standpoint. So I imagine there's video files.
Yeah.
There's also like personnel files, persons of interest, whatever. I guess the first thing I need to know is like what data do I see and what can I access, and then based on that, what can I do with it? Because like looking at security, I'd be scrubbing it for time
right.
and for interesting things.
Gordonson, you realize he's trying to get into the data, and you realize that you basically unpacked everything using your authority to pull this info, because you used your badge to pull it all over, so you have certain technical authority. You realize you have to unlock all that stuff, or he's going to get stuck going in circles.
When you'd only pulled like a certain time period.
Yeah, but in this case, because those files were pulled based on his authority, if he doesn't put it in there, it locks him down. So you just all you have to do is just like give him your biometrics real fast, and they pop open for him.
I guess. Fine. He taps his finger like it's like a fingerprint on his tablet. It's like, no, fine.
Sweet, thank you. I didn't even realize.
The whole thing about that is that you pop that open, so now you've got your video of you're like trying to review the incident that started all this.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to see if there's any. Obviously, I don't have enough time to sit here for hours and hours and hours, like digging through all of it. So I'm kind of skimming, just to see if there's anything around.
Now you get back to the like.
And...
Yeah, he recorded specifically from the incident based on timestamps. So you pull up this timestamp and you kind of go around where you actually see the action happen. So,
okay,
all right, where you're at within this, the psych ward was being managed and worked through a number of different outlets, and you have multiple feeds. You can zoom into any one of them at any time when you're trying to get a specific look. From all the different floors, there are quite a few cameras and a lot of feeds to sift through. Bottom floor is all identified, second floor and so on going up are all easily identifiable, so you can kind of watch how things go.
I think I'll speed through the ones I'd probably swap through the most would be the 5th floor looking towards the northern ward, just like the hallway, just see activity. Yeah. The second one I'd probably look towards most is, I think, the 1st floor, and again, the main 2 hallways going to the north and the south, because we know that if I recall, that was where we saw the evidence of a fight.
Yeah.
And so I think I'll start there.
Very, very, the bottom floor where everybody's located, yes.
Yeah, so I think I'll start there and start scrubbing through the feed until I see activity happen. And the second that happens, I'm going to do a split screen in my feed. And basically it's like, okay, on this screen I'm going to watch the fight start, and I'm going to watch the northern ward to see what happened there.
Right, so you're just keeping an eye on Douglas and the rest of it, because he was under a camera all the time.
Right. That's my idea here, is that if I'm trying to glean some information about who's helping him and how and what's going on, seeing their combat capabilities, seeing if I can find any identifying factors, and then take screenshots basically to help us, and then also to get any data I can about Douglas's behavior, how he escaped, anything like that.
Okay, so major thing to keep in mind is that you pull it back from the timestamp maybe 3 minutes prior to the whole thing going down, just kind of watching the general workflow of everyone in this hospital. So nothing's going on when the cameras suddenly pick up some kind of a security problem that's going to be at the main entrance. Some vehicle comes blasting through at high speed. It's heavily armored. It's a grounder, but it looks like it's capable. It's like a hybrid, so it can go between being ground or jump, and so it's highly, highly expensive based on what you know about technology already. The next things that happen are fast and somewhat terrifying. You recognize certain individuals on the inside as being part of different laboratories because the ground floor was where some of this stuff was already happening. They had come in the side entrance, which is where staff was supposed to be filtered through, where normal people would not go that way. That's where this APC stops at the staff entrance. The people that emerge from it are fully clad. There is no skin, no exposure, no name tags, no nothing, but their gear is state of the art. They're probably just the low-end powered armored suits that allow them to be able to move and do what they need, and you assume this basically because they breach the door without explosives. They dismantle the main mechanism that keeps it locked. Any magnetic lock that was there is no longer useful, as they wrench it free and open that door. A unit of 6. They have weapons ready, and they move into the hallway. They are trained and precise. Anybody who gets caught in that hallway in their line of fire is taken down immediately, up to and including several individuals who were working in that bottom floor laboratory that happened to be identified as like hide dynamite. So hide dynamite and people are actually taking shots and being killed as they're moving through, which, again, is very strange. But, you watch this proceed. They cut through the entirety of it all. They start stealing things from the laboratory, what looks to be electronic equipment and a few other things. And they bunker it down with as quickly as possible, stowing away whatever storage devices they can find, whether it be drives, smart braces, whatever. They have a person who is capable of picking up all of this gear and stashing it while the others guard or watch. There is a armed response. There seems to be certain aspects of the floor that are now at high alert, sending out an alarm. They proceed to second floor. Same exact tactical precision. Moving from second floor to the command center, where you guys found yourselves and that strange entity from before. They seem to know exactly where they're going. They barge in, absolutely annihilate the people that were sitting in the command center who were issuing any kind of alarms. They don't even get a chance to pull firearms and shoot back. They're shot so fast. They come blasting right through. They riddle pretty much everything with as much damage as they can, and then try to steal anything that isn't damaged as far as they can tell. And they leave behind the single item that seems to have been stowed away under, just out of sight. They're doing a raid, and so they're moving quickly. So it would appear that the footage you've gathered was due to a very, very lucky oversight on their part. Or they just didn't have the time. As they go immediately to the third floor, where security gets tighter. They start having to do things like disabling some of the floor security, because there are elements apparently that were set up to prevent any of these people from getting out without seriously lethal measures being taken into account. They get to the fifth, where the most hostile and dangerous people are located. There is a grand total of 2 rigs which are disposed of, but not without injury. One of their team being taken down in a sort of, it wasn't hand-to-hand fighting, but it damn near got to that point. He tried to avoid it, and then the rig was destroyed while it was grappling with one of their team members. They go through the floors, searching for something, is what it looks like. They start blasting doors open at this time. Now, this is where they actually start using the explosives that they have, but they're blowing these doors open, checking the inhabitants, and not firing. And moving through. If any of the inhabitants for these cells manage to interfere, they interact, but they do not fire or kill. They merely disable or use hand-to-hand to knock them out. Once they get up to Douglas's area, they blast the door open. They relay something on comms. You can't hear it, but you can tell that that's how their movement is. And then they blow out of there. They get gone fast. They hop back into the APC and depart. Shortly thereafter, the feed starts to disable and go bad.
Wow. Do they take Douglas, or do they just blow the door open?
They just leave him there. So, roll an awareness for anybody who's watching the feeds and watching this scenario go down. See if you catch something.
Okay.
Damn. Way to go, Scott.
24 for me.
Hunting instincts. Activate.
Oh.
Oh,
God damn. That's
Wow.
2 in a row.
Well, now it's my turn.
Yeah.
This is awareness.
Yeah.
so 30.
Okay.
Anything you can do, I can do better.
Oh, I was hoping for a 3 for.
That'd be fun.
Dodanshi.
10, 14 on the dice. Wow. Oh. Well, I will definitely say this. Scott and Gordonson, you definitely catch it first. Something is dropped. It's just out of camera frame, but it's dropped. And Douglas is like manic with what he's got going on. He can't hear what the footage is saying because a lot of the audio has been sort of destroyed or corrupted. Not really sure. But whenever the doors are finally popped open and he's allowed to go free, he seems to like act in weird ways where he's just kind of dancing his way out. When you happen to notice that when he steps out of frame, he has to bend over to grab something and pick it up. And then if you enhance it just a little bit by zooming into the area, it looks like some kind of comlink. But he leaves and departs and takes this comlink with him, and it starts to make more sense that this was obviously to get him out, and he was aware enough of the cameras to not be caught picking this thing up. All the others that were in that same wing are filtering out at this point and running for dear life. And like I said, this was some months ago, before the wing wards and everything that they started doing was becoming apparent. But this was it. And you start to realize as well, Gordonson, that whenever you found like the emblem that you caught down on the bottom floor of the Hyde Dynamat, that was one of the technicians who got blasted. And because they weren't going to go back to investigate this much any further due to whatever reason, you're not sure yet. It could be that there was like possible corruption, or they condemned the building. Again, not sure. Something moved where no further action was done with this structure. And, then they left a guard dog behind, Hyde Dynamat being the, suspected guard dog being left for. But, yeah, you don't know what's going on, but the HD technicians that were there got blasted without mercy. Same thing with anybody else who got stuck on the bottom floor in front of their muzzle.
Yeah,
Well,
poor guys.
That's concerning.
Mm-hmm.
So whoever, so in character. So one of these days, my characters are all just gonna have like nice clean voice. Or I guess Danny did. He did.
Yeah, he was done.
So whoever this was who came in here, cracked him open, and then tossed a comlink, something that they could then communicate. And then we think. Do we think that the wing wards are made up of other? What do you even call this? Inmates here,
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, it seems like he must have been in communication because, at least from my perspective, the fact that they came in and did not attack any of the inmates. I mean,
Right.
if I was the leader of the wing wards or the northern ward, I wouldn't want to.
A wing of the insane asylum escapes wing wards. Do we even have to put this together?
We did that last week, or when we first started it.
Yeah.
But the fact that the other inmates didn't get shot tells us that someone from the outside must have been involved. Like they were talking with Douglas, is what I mean, in some way, communicating.
Right. So,
Yeah. Now you have your piece of information, knowing exactly what hit the place, at least as far as that's concerned. But the rest of the information we'll probably have to touch on when we do this again next week, because it actually hit on the hour.
dun dun dun.
Cliffhanger.
Before we,
I want to
we
put
end-
it in the notes because I will forget for next week that while this was going on,
Yeah.
Gideon will be trying to investigate this influencer person to like find where, if they can I don't remember if they had found where he was because they were doing that kind of like
I don't believe we had the
while they
location
were
yet,
on
but you
site.
do know where he was. Like he'd been doing certain things online, and so it was like
Yeah.
a matter
Like
of
they didn't have their full resources while they were on site.
yeah.
So now they're back. He's gonna run down those bits
Awesome.
of info.
I think we'll start with an investigation check next when we come back, then, so we can find out
Yeah.
exactly how that's playing out. Sounds good.
I just know
let me do before you end your stream. Let's do the recap.
Actually,
Yeah.
we can do the recap for our own sake. I personally think we can probably drop from here because I'll still be recording that out. And
Okay, that works.
yep. So we'll call her good from here. So I'll punt it us. That was a good one.
Good to see you guys.
Yeah, that was excellent. Later on.